For decades, Star Trek has been praised for its bold vision of the future, its journeys into unknown worlds, and its willingness to confront deep and often uncomfortable questions about humanity. The series has never shied away from exploring complex ideas, presenting audiences with stories that challenge perceptions and encourage reflection. Yet, despite its widespread acclaim, not every episode was embraced without resistance. Over time, certain installments crossed boundaries that television networks considered too risky, leading to episodes being pulled from broadcasts, restricted, or quietly banned in various regions around the world. These were not minor disputes, but significant controversies rooted in themes that many believed were too intense or unsettling for mainstream audiences. A closer look at these episodes reveals why they stirred such strong reactions, even many years after their initial release. Here, we examine 3 Star Trek episodes that continue to carry the label of being banned. Number 3, Miri. This episode from the original series begins with what appears to be a simple investigation, but quickly evolves into a far more disturbing narrative. The USS Enterprise responds to a distress call from a planet that is an almost perfect duplicate of Earth. When Captain Kirk, Spock, Dr. McCoy, Yeoman Janice Rand, and 2 security officers transport to the surface, they encounter a deserted town that feels frozen in time. The environment resembles a peaceful suburban neighborhood from the 1960s, yet it is eerily empty, as though life has suddenly vanished without explanation. The unsettling quiet is abruptly interrupted when a horribly disfigured man launches an attack on the landing party. Within moments, he collapses into a violent seizure and dies before their eyes, leaving the crew shaken and confused. Shortly afterward, the team meets a frightened young girl named Miri. She refers to the adults as grubs and explains that she and the other children, whom she calls the Onlys, are the only survivors of a catastrophic disease that wiped out the adult population. As events unfold, members of the Enterprise crew begin to notice strange purple markings forming on their skin, indicating that they too have been infected by the same deadly illness. While searching an abandoned medical facility, they uncover the tragic origin of the outbreak. The disease was the unintended result of a failed experiment designed to extend human life. What makes the discovery even more chilling is the realization that the children, despite appearing young, are actually over 300 years old. They age at an incredibly slow rate, just 1 month per century, yet mentally and emotionally, they remain like ordinary children. As Dr. McCoy races against time to develop a cure, tensions among the children escalate. An older boy named John steals the crew's communicators, cutting off their connection to the Enterprise and complicating their efforts to find a solution. Fear, jealousy, and confusion push the children into a chaotic and aggressive state, turning them into a dangerous mob. Miri herself plays a role in capturing Rand, while Kirk is attacked and left injured, bleeding, and overwhelmed with anger. Eventually, Kirk manages to regain control by pointing out that the younger children will not survive without the guidance of the older ones. This realization helps calm the situation, and John ultimately returns the communicators. In a desperate attempt to save everyone, McCoy tests the vaccine on himself, and fortunately, it works. Despite its resolution, the episode's disturbing imagery and themes led to backlash when it aired only once on the BBC in 1970. Complaints poured in, and the episode was excluded from repeat broadcasts for years due to its unsettling nature. Number 2, Plato's Stepchildren. This episode is widely remembered for containing a historic and groundbreaking moment in television. In the storyline, Captain Kirk and Lieutenant Uhura are captured by a society that models itself after ancient Greece. Under the control of their captors, they are forced to move toward one another and share what became the first interracial kiss ever broadcast on American television. Although the scene lasts only a brief moment, its cultural impact was enormous, extending far beyond the boundaries of science fiction. Interestingly, executives at NBC did not object to the scene itself. Their primary concern was how local stations, particularly in the Deep South, might respond to it. Contrary to expectations, there was very little backlash from viewers across the country, suggesting that audiences were more accepting of social progress than network executives had anticipated. However, reactions outside the United States were not the same. When the series was aired in the United Kingdom, the BBC chose not to broadcast the episode at all. Officially, the decision was attributed to the episode's brutality, but many believe the real reason was an effort to avoid controversy among more conservative audiences. This situation highlights the complex relationship between groundbreaking storytelling and societal norms. Plato's Stepchildren stands as a powerful example of how a single moment in a television show can spark widespread discussion about culture, representation, and change. Number 1. Whom Gods Destroy. In this intense and unsettling episode, the Enterprise crew faces one of the darkest scenarios in the history of the series. Their mission is to deliver advanced medical supplies to a high-security psychiatric facility on the remote planet Elba. Upon arrival, they quickly discover that the situation has deteriorated dramatically. The patients have taken control of the asylum, which is now ruled by Garth of Azar, a former Starfleet captain who has descended into madness. Believing himself destined to rule the galaxy, Garth possesses the dangerous ability to shapeshift, making him an unpredictable and formidable adversary. By disguising himself as the facility's chief doctor, Garth manipulates the other inmates and begins plotting to take control of the Enterprise. Kirk and Spock are captured and subjected to both physical danger and psychological manipulation. Garth engages in cruel mind games, attempting to break Kirk's spirit while asserting his dominance. In one particularly shocking act, he kills another patient simply to demonstrate his power. The tension builds to a dramatic climax when Garth impersonates Kirk, creating a dangerous and confusing battle of identity. Ultimately, it is Spock's logic and unwavering loyalty that expose Garth and restore order. Despite its compelling narrative, the episode was later deemed too disturbing for younger audiences by the BBC, which cited its depictions of insanity, torture, and sudden violence. To truly understand why episodes like these face censorship, it is essential to consider the broader importance of Star Trek as a cultural phenomenon. Created by Gene Roddenberry, the franchise began as a single television series, but quickly expanded into a vast universe encompassing films, books, comics, and video games. Since its debut in 1966, the original series has followed the USS Enterprise on missions of peaceful exploration under the United Federation of Planets. Its iconic mission, to explore strange new worlds, seek out new life and civilizations, and boldly go where no one had gone before, captured the imagination of audiences worldwide. Roddenberry drew inspiration from a wide range of sources, including classic adventure literature, Western films, and early science fiction. The result was a universe that felt both futuristic and familiar. Although the original series lasted only 3 seasons, its influence endured through an animated series, 6 feature films, and multiple spin-offs, such as The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise. Modern reboots and streaming series have continued to expand the franchise, introducing new generations to its enduring themes. The fan community, often referred to as Trekkies or Trekkers, has played a crucial role in keeping the franchise alive, attending conventions, creating fan content, and even studying the Klingon language. Beyond its entertainment value, Star Trek has consistently tackled serious social issues, promoting ideals such as equality, cooperation, and cultural understanding. Its willingness to challenge societal norms is one of the primary reasons certain episodes encountered censorship. Even before the show premiered, Roddenberry envisioned a series that would combine exciting adventures with meaningful moral and philosophical lessons. In 1964, he described the concept as a wagon train to the stars, drawing inspiration from Western storytelling while also being influenced by Gulliver's Travels. The characters of Starfleet were designed to represent the best qualities of humanity, emphasizing fairness, compassion, and unity. Through its imaginative settings and alien worlds, the series addressed real-world issues such as war, racism, sexism, human rights, and technological advancement. Roddenberry's vision reflected the transformative spirit of the 1960s, presenting a hopeful future in which humanity had learned from its mistakes. Alien races like the Vulcans embodied logic and self-discipline, while the United Federation of Planets symbolized cooperation and optimism. Despite facing resistance from network executives, Roddenberry remained committed to his vision, ultimately shaping Star Trek into a powerful symbol of progress. Over time, the franchise grew into a multi-billion-dollar media empire under Paramount Global. From its iconic opening line, inspired by a 1957 U.S. White House booklet, to its global reach and dedicated fanbase, Star Trek has left a lasting mark on both culture and technology. Innovations in the real world have even been inspired by devices featured in the show, such as mobile communication tools modeled after the tricorder. NASA famously named a prototype Space Shuttle Enterprise following a campaign led by fans. The series also broke significant ground in terms of representation. The original cast featured a diverse and multicultural crew, including Lieutenant Uhura, an African-American communications officer, Sulu, a Japanese helmsman, and Chekhov, a Russian navigator. The groundbreaking kiss between Kirk and Uhura in Plato's Stepchildren demonstrated the show's commitment to challenging social barriers. Nichelle Nichols, who portrayed Uhura, later collaborated with NASA to help recruit women and minorities into the astronaut program, extending the show's influence beyond entertainment. Even in more recent times, the impact of Star Trek has remained evident. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the U.S. initiative known as Operation Warp Speed drew its name from the series. Some episodes continued to push boundaries, such as The Empath, which explored psychological and emotional extremes rather than relying on graphic visuals. The story's depiction of torture and suffering created a lasting sense of unease, leading the BBC to consider it too intense for viewers. Although it was praised in the United States, audiences in the UK did not officially see it until 1994, nearly 30 years after its original release. Other series within the franchise also tested limits. Star Trek: The Next Generation featured the episode Conspiracy, which included disturbing imagery involving alien parasites and graphic violence. The intensity of the content led NBC to move it to a later time slot, while the BBC refused to air it entirely. Similarly, Deep Space Nine's episode rejoined faced censorship in parts of the southern United States due to its depiction of the franchise's first openly gay kiss. Despite critical acclaim, the scene was removed in certain broadcasts to avoid controversy. Additional episodes encountered editing due to violent content. To the Death became the first Star Trek episode censored for excessive brutality, with significant portions of a battle scene removed to comply with broadcast standards. The BBC also edited episodes such as The Maquis Part 2 for earlier time slots, sometimes affecting the pacing and clarity of the story. These examples illustrate the ongoing challenge of balancing creative storytelling with the limitations imposed by television networks. Throughout its long history, Star Trek has received widespread critical recognition. The original series dominated Hugo Award nominations in the late 1960s, while The Next Generation earned multiple awards in the 1990s. Films like Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home achieved both commercial success and award nominations, including recognition from the Academy Awards. The franchise has also received Peabody Awards, Emmy nominations, and Guinness World Records recognition, culminating in the 2024 Peabody Institutional Award, which honored its decades-long cultural impact. In the end, the banned episodes of Star Trek stand as powerful examples of the franchise's fearless storytelling. By addressing complex ethical, emotional, and social issues, these episodes challenge both audiences and the institutions that broadcast them. From unsettling psychological themes to groundbreaking portrayals of love and identity, Star Trek consistently pushed boundaries and forced viewers to confront ideas that were often ahead of their time. Its influence continues to span generations, inspiring not only fans but also scientists, engineers, and dreamers. These controversial stories serve as a reminder that even fictional narratives can have a profound impact on the real world, shaping perspectives and encouraging progress in ways that few other forms of media can achieve.